Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
What's up, friends? Welcome back to the TV Terminal. My name is Adam Vale, Senior Editor over at thekoalition.com.
My name is Lawrence, a.k.a. A Punk with Toys on all the social medias.
And we are back. Tulsa King, Season 3, Episode 2, The 50. Oh, man. This is interesting show. Very funny show. I'm going to say that.
It's most of these Taylor Sheridan shows, Tulsa King, anything that he did with at least that I've seen when it comes to Yellowstone. I haven't even seen the final episode or the final season of Yellowstone because it wasn't on Paramountplus. And Landman, it's one of those shows where I don't want to wait to watch the next episode. I'm ready just to watch the whole season.
Don't say that. Don't give them ideas. Don't give them ideas. Next you know, it's like, oh, did you hear these guys? They love it. We're gonna dump it, binge watch people.
This is the thing. Like, this is the perfect show that we've talked about. Like,
yeah,
you want them waiting for the next episode. You want them to come back, and during that time to see commercials for other stuff that you're putting out there. Again, Netflix. It's Netflix's thing, so I do understand it, but everything drops, you completely forgot about it, right?
Yeah.
Going back to, my biggest one is Cobra Kai, which I watched Karate Kid Legends today.
Oh, yeah. What you think? You like it?
It was so bad that it was good.
Oh, yeah. It was, I don't know, the whole thing with the online social media scoring, making it like a video game type.
It was so 80s. That it worked. And you know what I mean? Like when you watch Cobra Kai, it was directly out of the 80s, the way that it was done, even though it's done now. I thought that this was done the same way. Like the way they trained, some of the moves that they did. It was hilarious. And then the end, I'm not gonna spoil it for anyone. The last scene is absolutely awesome.
There was some cool stuff in there. But I was just thinking about real quick, just to go back with this, because we were talking about Netflix and the drop. Paramount does do some full season drops. They did that with The Paper.
That's not Paramount.
That is not. Oh, that's Peacock. My bad.
It's Peacock.
That's right. Whoops. Take that back.
But okay, man, thank you. Thank you for bringing that one up. Great. We're going to be here all night now. No, so I thoroughly enjoyed Karate Kid Legends. I really did. All right. It was bad, but in a good way. It was so 80s, right? Like if you dropped that in the 80s and you took away electronics like phones and stuff, it would fit perfectly. It would be The Paper. The Paper got better as the episodes went on. Yes, there is still a lot of ties of like, oh, you're trying to recreate The Office with some aspects of it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. If they don't do a second season, I'm going to be really.
It already got approved for a second season. And on that note, Tulsa King also got approved for a fourth season. So we don't have to worry about they're doing these 6 episodes. Is that it? No, it's coming back
with The Paper. It was 10 episodes.
Yeah,
and if you do remember, the first season of The Office was, I think, 8 episodes. I don't think we're going to get more because this is what they do now, 10 episodes. You don't get 20 episodes anymore.
I think Law and Order is the only one I know that came back and that went long form. It actually went above.
Law and Order does not count.
Oh, you don't like Law and Order?
Law and Order does not count. That is they just produce shows. All right.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. They just came back. Season 25 just started. 25.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter what Law and Order is. They just show up on set and they're like, "Oh, I didn't think we were filming." Like, "Oh no, we are. We have another episode we're doing right now. It is ripped from the headlines." They just open a paper and they're like, "Oh, we're doing this one."
Yeah, there was a lot. There was a lot with that one. All right,
I thoroughly enjoyed. I thoroughly enjoyed The Paper. The end of it had a huge. Again, I'm not going to spoil it for anyone that hasn't seen it. It had a huge setup going into season season 2. I'm glad that we got the payoff of that, and it wasn't season 6 or 7, and the chemistry was awesome. So
yeah, it was definitely much better than Alien Earth, which I did not like.
Okay,
That's a whole other topic.
I haven't seen that, and I've heard mixed reviews on that.
Yeah, well, mine's is not mixed. It's down. It was a letdown big time. I just can't go with the Peter Pan approach. But anyway, let's get back to a good show, and that is this one, Tulsa King. Like I meant, what?
But before we do, please, if you haven't, take a second, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you're notified anytime not only Tulsa King comes out, but any other show that we're doing or that Adam is doing with his brother. Again, there's so many different shows that we have done. Which is a small thing that you guys can do that's going to help us out tremendously.
Yeah, and we know it pops up in your feed if you're not subbed, but it helps out. It helps the channel on the back end. I mean, look, we're covering Slow Horses. We're going to be recording the next episode tomorrow for that one. Man, we mentioned we got Gen V that's out there, and then we got a bunch of others in the pipeline and stuff already out there. And I'm still getting comments and for some of the other shows that people are just catching up on, because we get it. Not everybody is watching it in real time as it happens. So we get it. We're all here though. It's here. But hey, let's get into this episode. Surprise, surprise. They're at a funeral for this dude, for Cleo's dad. I really didn't think there was much of a body that was going to be left from the way that house was burnt to the ground, right? When they showed that house, that scene where you see Dwight.
Well, it's not an open casket. He just said he can't go up to the casket.
No, he said he can't because of his brother. Remember, he said, but I think you could go up. I think you can go up.
No, you could go up, but there was a closed casket.
Still, what's in the casket?
Bones, whatever they found. I mean,
bones, I guess.
No, I mean it because crematoriums burn at such a high level which houses won't burn at that level. That's why they still find bones. That's how they can determine what has happened.
Plus, and in all honesty, it usually takes time, right? You can't just do this right away. This has to be a few days later.
Well, okay, so right at the beginning of the episode, they are at the house.
Yeah.
Right? There would be crime tape. They would not be able to get that close to it. I'm sorry. I know, like, I live in a small townhouse, and one of the townhouses burnt down a couple years ago. They had tape around that thing for months while they were investigating it. Mm-hmm. This was a mansion. Yeah, this is bigger than my whole neighborhood.
But this is one thing we talked about even in the last episode. Where are the cops? We don't really see law enforcement.
We don't see this.
It's like, and then
other than the first season when the FBI was trying to take him down.
Oh yeah, it's different. It's different. But the running joke on this is they're constantly saying, well, it's the law enforcement's in the pockets of somebody, right? Whether it's Cal or now here Dunmire, they're always paid off to just look the other way.
Yeah.
So they're here.
But I will say this: the whole casket thing, it brings back memories because my dad made myself and my sister go up to the casket when my mom passed away, and I don't ever want to walk by a casket again. So this really touched a string with me where I was like, I know it's for an episode, but I fully understand that.
Yeah. And I mean, not only that, it has to be tough just for the actor. I'm sure all of them have some kind. We've all experienced death in our families, in our lives. But remember, Stallone lost his son tragically a few years back when he was doing the Expendables, one of the promotions for the film there. And I'm sure this also
when it was in the Rockies.
Yeah, this is was it? No, it wasn't in the Rockies. It was for Expendable.
No. He was the kid in.
Oh, Rocky. Yeah. Correct.
He's an annoying kid in Rocky 5.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, he was in.
I don't mean that. I don't mean again.
Yeah, he was in the Rocky 5.
He was the annoying kid in Rocky 5. I'm not saying he's an annoying kid.
Yeah, no. We're not talking Ill of the Dead. It's just, but we're just bringing it up because it has to be a trigger doing any of these type of scenes when it's funeral related. So who knows? Maybe we can replace the brother with, his own person.
That's what good actors do, is they pull from something of an experience that they had, especially in dramas like this, right? Yeah. You're going to pull from an experience that you had where maybe that wasn't something that was written into the script. That was something he was like, you know what? In real life, not something I could walk by, not something I could do. And it's just it's a little something. It's not, hell, we spent more time on it than they did.
That is true. That is true. exactly. I mean, if anything, they made light of it because in that scene here, when we're seeing the right, he brings in like
Yeah,
this
good.
horseshoe reef, and he's like, "What is this?" And he's like, "Oh, this
Yeah.
is all they had left." I mean, there was, the horse races and stuff. He's like, "Aren't you embarrassed? Get this out of here. Why even
Yeah,
bring it? It's true.
he's-
Why bring that?
He
Don't
told me
bring
of
it."
flowers. He comes in here. He's got this horseshoe flower. It's
Oh,
all like this light blue. And he's like, he wasn't a jockey. Get this thing out of here. Go bury it in the back. He's like, aren't you embarrassed?
yeah. No, he's not. He's not. He doesn't care.
No, he
But,
doesn't.
I think this is also the only time we see Margaret. Right? This is
Yeah,
the only scene where she shows up in this
yeah,
episode.
she's not in this episode at all. So, except for this, obviously. There's a few people that come back in this, I think. We're seeing for just a short bit, showing that hey, they're still relevant. They're still in the show, right? I think we all hate when a character gets written out of the show and we're like,
Oh yeah, out of sight, out of mind. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, nobody's gonna remember.
what was the girl that went
Shoot.
upstairs in Family Matters and she never came back down?
Oh, how about Happy Days?
The Happy Days brother.
Yeah, the older brother. It's like 1 minute he's there, next minute's gone. They could have easily just said he went off to college or the military or something, and then just that could be the running
They
joke. Oh, he's
never-
working overseas
They
now.
never brought him up.
No,
again.
no. They're like, all
But
right.
there's an episode of Family Matters where the one daughter, she goes up the stairs. I believe they said she goes up the stairs and you never see her again. I think she had drug problems.
Oh man, look at that. All right, well,
You know.
there's a few shows. There's a few shows that have done that. It's always funny.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
again, you don't know what's going to happen like down the road, right?
that is true. That is true. I mean, for this show, we thought it was going to be Armand, right? Because 1 minute, if you remember from last season, he fixed everything up. Yeah, he gave back the money. He fixed the issues with Dwight. All that seemed to be fine. He got his job back at the ranch with Margaret. And then the show starts off, first episode, poof, nothing. He's gone. And they sort of mention him here. So it's like, oh, okay. So I guess he's still part of it, but we don't understand why he's
And
missing.
when you do write someone off, because let's say, hey, you know what? They went on, they got another show, they got fired, whatever. You don't need a long explanation, but you do need something to tell the fans of the show that have invested their time into it. Like, hey, oh, this guy, he went off. Like, hey, he got his family back together and they said, hey, you know what? Go, be gone. Don't come back. Like stuff like that, right? So we do get Dunmire showing up at the funeral. And everyone knows that he was the one that did this. Dwight confronts him. There's a few times Dwight confronts this guy in this show. So
Yeah, well, it's true. I mean, he knows it. Everybody knows that he did this. And then he shows up. He shows up with his annoying son. Cleo isn't having it. She attacks the guy. It's like, oh, you brought, how dare you? The whole big thing is, and it's true. It's true. But again, where's law enforcement? Nothing. They interrogate them, ask them questions.
No, they did say that he has him in his pocket.
Yeah,
but you still think, yeah. But the one thing that Dunmire does is he offers 3 times what Manfredi had just paid for this. Which right then it triggers like, why would you spend that much on something, and why would you spend that much on something that somebody just bought, and you were going to buy even cheaper, with the handshake deal? Because if you remember, that was one of the problems that he's like, he's ripping you off. We'll pay you this much for it.
But that also brings up a red flag for anyone, because you're like, wait, you're offering me 3 times. For, as we found out later on, the distillery hasn't made a profit in 10 years.
Well, yeah. After that all, that's when we see Dwight go home. His sister, Joanne, we found out her name.
Yep, Joanne. Shout out to Joanne.
She's like, hey, I dug into it, and this thing hasn't made a profit in 10 years. But this guy has a huge mansion, not a huge house. This is Wayne Manor type stuff.
Yeah. The property, everything there. It screams money. All of it screams money, but yet they're not making any money. So he knows there's got to be something else. He's like, there's something Cleo isn't telling us, or maybe she doesn't know. but
It's,
there's
I
definitely.
do find it weird they keep going back to the house. You
What do
notice
you
that,
mean?
like, the show starts off, they're in front of the house looking at it all burnt down.
Yeah.
Like, why? Like, what are you looking to see? So now they go back to it, and this is where Dwight just flat out asks Cleo, like, is there something you don't know that you want to tell us?
Yeah.
And this is where she's like, oh yeah, let me show you what you really bought. Which again, that I don't understand.
That was kind of crazy. So it's like an underground tunnel. So this is for the bourbon, right?
Yeah.
Now
No.
she said her
Hold on. Like, you and I were talking about this before, and we're like, we were going back to the Guy Ritchie
gentleman,
show.
the gentleman,
Gentleman,
yeah,
where like they were running all this weed, and that's the way they were making their money, and everyone pretty much wanted to purchase this, right?
yeah.
So we're like, well, what is this? Because right now, why is this thing worth so much money? How does this guy have this huge mansion, right? And we were assuming that it was something that's not on the up and up. And in actuality, this guy's doing nothing wrong.
Yeah, no, it's just where he stores, and they said that it keeps it at a certain temperature. What was it? There was like 50 barrels or something like that. There,
No, it's 50 years old. I thought
50,
they said.
that's
And he's like, do you know how much a 50-year-old bottle of bourbon is worth? And she said $150. Like, it was $150 a bottle.
That's crazy.
And he's like, there's like what 100 barrels here. She goes 200. And then she said how many barrels, how many bottles is in a barrel? And they're trying to figure out the math, and he's like, it's $150 million. So he's pretty smart. Yeah, he's pretty smart. Like, they're all trying to, he's like $150 million.
So they're saying
$150 million, and now we know exactly why, because Dunmire owns his own liquor.
Yeah. But then also, I guess it was a rumor for a long time. Hey, shout out to Chloe's family for keeping it a secret for so long. Because remember, she said she just recently found out about this. And I guess Dunmire found out about it. And that's what he wants. Because it took generations to build that.
But it also goes back to, like, all right, where was their money from? Right? Where was the Montague's money coming from? If this thing hasn't been making money, and he has all these barrels, why is he not selling the barrels off? Why is he not bottling it, paying?
Well,
that's what I wasn't understanding.
I think it was it Walden, the distributor? I think that was the whole issue. He was cutting him out because Dunmire had him in his pocket. Because that's when we noticed. It's like, hey, how come we only see Dunmire stuff here? What's up with
This ain't fucking Roadhouse, all right? Like, we're not in the 80s anymore, all right? There's the electronics, there's computers. You can go outside of your little, well, that's little Tulsa, right?
Well,
like,
even Walden, he even brought that up. He was like, I'm not the only one. There's others. You're right. Why is it?
It went back to the whole Roadhouse, but that was like the 80s, this little town, right?
It's still taking that approach. That's the only thing I can think of. They're still taking that approach, like small town. There's no way to communicate to the outside world. Everything has to happen within the bubble. It's even now when they talk about all the drama and all this stuff. Hey, we deal with it. We handle our own business here.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, all right.
So they end up going to check out the distillery, and this distillery is run down.
Oh, it's a mess.
And yes, and they're looking at everything, and as they're going through everything, and they can see the rats have chewed through some of the hoses and everything. And this is where Bodhi starts bringing up that these things need new bungholes.
Oh, the bungholes.
And Dwight gets a little aggravated over him saying it. He's like, hey, there are women here. And he says, no, actually, a bunghole is, well, it's an aperture through which a cask can be filled or emptied. So he's basically saying, like, again, everyone knows if someone says a bunghole, You normally referring to the backside of somebody.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But there's an actual term for it. And he's using it in the proper terminology, which nobody else knew, or at least no one else seemed to know.
I didn't know. I'm sure a lot of people didn't know.
I bet Chloe was supposed to have known.
She should have known. Family business. Come on now. But
And I'll say the moment I brought it up, once I Googled it, not only in the dictionary, before I even could read it on the side, it was showing barrels with holes in it. So I knew exactly that he was right. But again, Bodhi is a very smart person. He just, unfortunately, he was running a weed shop, and Dwight showed up and said, "No, now we're partners."
Let's say all this falls apart. Let's say, all right, let's say that the series is not that the show falls apart, but like let's say the final season comes in. All right, we're gonna end this, and you know when they do the montage, everybody goes separate ways. Some go to jail, some die, whatever. He should be at like a Barnes and Noble signing a book, you know, because it's like he wrote a story of everything that he went through because it sounds unbelievable. You know, this guy opens up a weed shop. This former mob guy gets out of prison, shows up and says, "Yeah, now I run this place," and then his whole life flips upside down and continues that way.
Depending on how talented Taylor Sheridan is, this is one of those ones where they could take Bodhi and do a comedy sitcom. That was an oxymoron. Do a half hour 25 minute sitcom with him.
You can see him with his own show. You can see that
as a sitcom. It's a little comedy, how he acts. Again, especially if he took Grace with him, because I think she really works pretty well. What happened to what happened to the fat guy that used to work there? Because he was not there in this episode, but I thought he was in the last episode.
You're right. There's another one. MIA. He's probably in the background. We'll probably see him doing something.
Because I thought we saw him in episode 1. Anyway. So anyway, that's
probably still at the weed shop. Because he worked also at the weed shop, and somebody has to be holding it down because Joanne's running around with the crew in this episode.
Yeah, they've totally forgotten they own a weed shop.
Yeah, right. That's the grassroots. That's where it all started.
But this is where they notice, hey, we need a plumber, and Bodhi's like, I know weed, I know crypto, I don't know anything about it. And this is where they reach out to Tyson and basically tell Tyson, hey, could you ask your dad? He's like, he's not going to do it. So could you ask him?
Yeah. That's a shout out to the dad, man. I'm surprised he survived that car bombing.
Well, it was written into the script, so I'm not going to shout him out.
Yeah, but still, and we talked about this.
Like he really survived it. Like,
he could have died. They could have killed him off.
They could have, but like,
it's like, oh, and, but they didn't. They didn't. They kept him.
So this part is where we see Goody show up at. It's not an AA meeting, but he acts like it's an AA meeting, and they're like, "That's not. This is the AA meeting. That's on Wednesday." He starts going off. He's like, "It's a safe space, right?" And he starts going off about Armand, about this guy. Well, Armand's wife is there,
Clara. I think that was her name. Yeah,
and he basically goes off, and you and I were like, "Wait a minute! I thought they had solved all of this problem."
Yes,
because Armand basically betrayed him, but then he turned around. He made the amends.
Yeah, he helped him shoot out. Yeah, he gave the money back. Margaret gave him his job back at the ranch. Hell, Spencer's now working the bar at the casino.
Yeah. So we haven't seen Armand yet, but whether or not he shows up again, they do kind of let you know where he's at. So again, another quick thing that they're kind of taking care of to say, hey, if we don't see him, we know that he's still around. It's not like he just walked off and was never to be seen again.
Maybe he was unavailable. We see it all the time. Something happened. Maybe he was filming something and said, hey, I can't make it. It's like, all right, we'll write you off for the first 2 episodes, whatever. We'll name drop you, but we'll see you when we see you.
And again, it didn't have to be a long part. And it was actually pretty comical. Right, because Goody is like he comes off like he does come off like just with that real bad Italian attitude, a stereotype that's in every mafia movie.
Oh yeah. The stereotype. He even brings up whack. I mean, he's like, oh, he tried to whack my boss. It's like, nah, people don't really say whack anymore, but we get what you're saying, and all right.
So then we see Tyson is showing up at Mark's house or his pop's house, and he asks him, "Hey, man, Freddie has a job for you. It is a legit job, a legit plumbing job. Are you interested?" He also shows up in this awful Cybertruck. Hey, if you own a Cybertruck, great. It is the ugliest piece of crap I've ever seen. It makes the Pontiac Aztec look awesome. Anyway, back to the movie.
I'm not sold on this version of Tyson. Something about it just rubs me the wrong way.
I can't see, man, Freddie being picked up in a Cybertruck.
I don't think that's he. Yeah, I wonder if if this is his own personal vehicle. I don't know if that's the vehicle that he's using to pick up.
Well, we've already seen when Bigfoot was driving Freddie around, so we know he's still driving the Cadillac. I think it's a Cadillac, right? Or was it a Lincoln? One or the other.
It was one of those. It was a nice one.
One I can't afford. We'll just say that. But I went and looked at cars today at Chrysler's. I can't afford those either. So he basically tells him no, and he basically tells him, "I don't really like this of you, son, but hey, your mom is worried." And then when he leaves, mom comes out and tells Pops Mark, "Take that job and keep an eye on him."
Yeah. Which makes sense because I had a feeling he was going to take the part. I was like, it just makes sense that he does, so that way he can be there for his son. And she brings it up. She was like, just be there, keep an eye on him. That way we know he's okay because he's not really coming around. She was kind of upset that he didn't stick around just to talk to the mom, which was very impolite. Why not? It's like, hey, Dad, you're here. Hey, how's mom doing?
Pops is too much of a badass.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done some stuff, right?
In this show or in just in general?
I'm talking about the show. Like he's done some awful stuff in the show. He's taking lives. Oh yeah.
What?
Don't you? Yes.
I'm blanking now. What are you talking about?
At the end of the last season.
Oh yes,
the big bar fight, and even before that, there was something else. Because he basically says,
right. Yep.
I'm going to take Tyson's spot because he can't do crap.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
Basically, Tyson's a complete screw up. All right.
He's trying to play the badass, approach with the whole thing. And then the dad even calls him out with all, it's like, oh, what's all this? The glasses, the clothes. And he's like, it means that I'm somebody. And he's like, you don't need all this to be recognized as somebody.
But what I like about it is they took a character that's trying to play a badass, and we all know he's not.
Yeah.
Rather than when you watch a show and you're like, yeah, I don't believe that he's a badass. We're not supposed to believe he is.
Not only that, shout out to Taylor Sheridan for just keeping the actors that he likes employed in other projects. Because remember, he was also a mayor of Kingstown.
I never watched Mayor of Kingstown.
Oh my lord!
I watched the first episode or two, and
he was the warden. He was a warden there, and his death was brutal on that show.
Then I did see him, and I remember hearing that he gets.
He was also in Sons of Anarchy. He was a police officer. Yes. Remember, he was in Sons of Anarchy. I mean, he's a working actor.
He wasn't a police officer.
In Sons of Anarchy, wasn't he? The gang? Oh no, he was all the biker gang. Sorry, he's part of the other biker.
Yeah, he was part of the black biker gang. Taylor Sheridan was a deputy sheriff.
There we go. Okay.
And then he got fired, and then he created his empire.
Yeah, exactly. And eventually he'll be able to have his own channel.
And if I remember correctly,
World TV and finding the Taylor channel because of all the shows he has.
And Sutton, who fired him.
He
basically got fired from his own show.
Yeah. That was
quickly, because you're a wrestling fan, something popped up and it was showing all these wrestlers, and there was the Undertaker, and I went, oh my god, why does he look like Sutton, the creator of Sons of Anarchy?
Oh wait, because
he grayed out, and he had
he grayed out,
and I was like,
but he's not as big. Taylor's not his size.
It was just a picture, just his face, and I was like, oh my god, dude, that looks like Sutton.
Yeah, Undertaker when he's not, well, he's retired now, but his look is the biker look, bandana, cut off sleeve shirts, that's his thing.
I
Yeah.
I cannot stand the American Badass.
Nobody can, but he still likes it. It was only him. No one liked that gimmick. No one liked that. No one liked Limp Bizkit theme song and all that. Oh, rolling.
Him and Crush.
Oh man, taking it back. Yeah, Crush is gone. Here's another one passed away, if I remember right.
Crush Kahona. What is that? Crush. No, what was his last name?
Wait, who is he?
Crush. Crush. When he came in as Crush, before he was Demolition Crush, he was like Crush Kahona.
He was from Hawaii. That's the whole thing. Yeah, he was doing the Hawaii gimmick. That was. There you go. Oh man,
we're gonna do a wrestling show one day for.
Yeah, we'll get into that. We'll call it the Retro Wrestle Show, and that's it. We'll just talk about all the old stuff. Like, what new stuff? What do you mean?
I don't know. I know nothing about what's new. Anyway,
all right.
So now we see Dwight showing up to talk to Walden.
Uh-huh.
And this is the guy that's doing the distribution. This was more. I don't know. It wasn't long, so it doesn't really bother me. But I guess it does explain, like, hey, this is the own. I mean, even though he said I'm not the only distribution, but for some odd reason, here it is, like.
And it comes up again with Dunmire later on. It's like, why did he approach you? Why you? And he's like, I don't know. I don't know. And and that's us then. We're the same thing. Well, we don't know why. Like we said earlier, the internet's there. There's cars. There's all this stuff. There's ways to get out and distribute your booze outside of this town and away from this guy. But I think this was more of Dwight sending a message because he knows that this guy's in Dunmire's pocket. Yeah. Because that's one of the things, and we see here, and that was one of the things that why bring Bigfoot? You know what I mean? Unless your whole goal is to intimidate. Yeah. And he was like, "Oh, I see you got the booze and this and this." And I was like, "Oh, I see you Dunmire." He's like, "Oh, he's very popular." He's like, "Yeah, that's all I see though." And he said, and then that's when he's like, "Hey, you worried? Are you scared? I can't work with you." And then that's when he brings Bigfoot up front and says, "Bigfoot, talk to him." And so he was leaning on him, but he didn't put hands on him. So
they just took some of their product. That's all that he did. He took some
and he dropped off the 12-year-old booze that he had. Some of that, yeah.
But there's never any discussion if he's agreed to, sell it or whatever. And then we quickly go to Cole showing up to where Cleo's at, and this is, again, we need to get some sound bites, just regular sound bites, because for stuff like this, we need. What do
you want?
Well, no, we need to get the dodgeball. That's a bold move, Cotton. Like this guy just murdered your father, and he's like, "Hey, it's us. It's us."
Yeah, we
should. And she's like, "Get the hell out of here!" Right? Like, you just murdered her father.
They haven't made it clear. Did they used to date? We assumed they did, but I can't. This can't be like a Popeye Bluto situation where he shows up and claims olive oil. He can't just show up here and says, "You know what? By the way, your dad said I want you. You know you want me." There must be a past here, and we're missing it.
That's, again, I feel like they're implying it. Or maybe there always was something where it was always like he always wanted her. And I mean, I don't think killing someone's father is way to their heartstrings.
No.
But I've also been single for 11 years. Maybe that's an approach I haven't tried yet.
There you go. You're 12. Take a stab at it.
That's an approach I have not tried, admittedly. So
maybe because during that little conversation, he brings up, what does Mitch have that I don't? And she brings up integrity, whatever, all the stuff. But maybe
you didn't kill my dad.
Right, exactly. Oh, that's a big factor. It's like, hey, my pops is still alive. But remember, Dad didn't like Mitch either. So there goes that. It's like she could have thrown that. It's
He
like you're
still
in the
didn't
same
kill
boat.
him. Like he's
Nope,
still like.
that's true. That's true.
I
But what
bet
I'm
if you
thinking,
talk to him now,
this
he'd be
is
like, "Well, he didn't kill me, so."
this is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that since small town, went to the same school, maybe he always had a crush on Cleo, and she just never gave him the time of day, and she was always focusing on Mitch. We know Mitch and Cleo had a past and all this fun stuff when they were at the distillery. Remember, they were talking about, oh, we used to have good times back here. Let's not bring that up. So maybe that's it. This guy has always had the hots for Cleo, and she just never gave him the time of day. And hey, now that he off the dad, he was like, come on, now your dad isn't gonna be bitching, and it's wrong time. It's a wrong time, real bad timing. But
even if he didn't kill her dad, it's not the time that you're supposed to approach someone. Again, I've been single for 11 years, so maybe I just don't understand that, but I don't think that you approach someone.
No, 11 years, 12 years, 20 years. No, it still applies. All the years, Martha, it applies. This is just, you don't go to someone's funeral. Man, I'm so sorry about your dad, but listen, since I see you're going to have free time because you don't have to take care of the old man, you want to hang out, go to the movies? I think there's a new mission.
Well, you remember Wedding Crashers?
Oh, boy.
At the end, he starts crashing funeral.
He just couldn't give it up. Just couldn't give it up. Oh, man.
So here's where we get. This is really the only time that we see Bill, Frank Grillo's, and he shows up at the distillery, super angry, and he storms in, wants to talk to Manfredi, goes up there, and Joanne's with Dwight, and he basically says, "Hey, we're supposed to be 50-50 partners. You're not cutting me in on this." And Dwight cuts him off really quick. He's like, "Whoa, I haven't even had a chance to contact you." Right? Mm-hmm. He's like, "I just called you."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, because you need help." He's like, "Wait a minute, hold on. Like, I haven't even had a chance to contact you." And he's like, 50-50. He's like, no, 50-50 for the weed. That was our agreement. This is something different. But I want to cut you in because we do need your help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Joanne jumps in. He doesn't want to hear her. He's like, no. When she talks, that's coming from me as well. And she brings it up. It's like, hey, we're going to need you because Bill has a laundry business and he has trucks. And it's like, this is how we're going to get things out. And we're cutting New York out, just so you know. This is just, Tulsa and KC. This is our operation. So don't worry about me.
I love the way Dwight is. Like, he just, whoa. You're not going to talk to her like that. She speaks for me. The same way when he talked to Bill before and he said, hey, I already talked to Bodie. And Bodie explained exactly what happened. He killed his best friend. And I'm standing by my guy, right? He said, you got your money. That's all that matters.
Yeah. That's it. Just let bygones be bygones. In fact, I think he actually says that later on, the other dude.
Yeah, so he pretty much said 50-50. They start cutting everything down. They get to 15%. And he pretty much tells them to screw off. And they're like, okay, 7.5%.
That's it. Take it.
And he says, I'm not taking it. And say, all right, we'll think. Or he said, I have to think about it. And as he's walking out, he gets a phone call, which is what he's doing here.
Mm-hmm.
This is coming from one of the old guys in New York.
Yep.
This is the guy that really does not like Dwight, too.
Nope. This was his contact. That was part of the whole thing. That was filling Bill in on all the happenings with Chicky and all that stuff.
And if I remember correctly, didn't Dwight break his jaw?
He did something to him. Yeah, it's not going well for this dude, and he wants out. He's
like working like in a sub shop or something.
Yeah, he's doing something. He's just not happy, and he's looking for a new operation. And Bill's like, "All right, we could probably work something out." So I'm assuming we're going to see that guy more often. He's just
and this guy, as again, I don't want to say an actor. I don't know. As this character, I can't stand him, which I think is exactly what he's supposed to be, right? That you can.
Oh yeah. Well, that's when you know they're doing a good job. That's the whole thing. When it's supposed to be a dislikable character, and you're like, "Well, I really don't like you," and then it's like, "Thank you, yes, give me my Emmy now."
His name is Vincent. I wasn't able to figure out who he was.
They call him Vinny. It's Vin. He's like, "Hey, it's me, Vinny."
I missed it. He only said it like one time, really quickly. But on IMDb, he looks much younger than what we see here.
It's an old pig, probably.
Yeah. But that's kind of where it ends up, right? Like that's where it ends. I don't think we hear Bill come back and say anything about it.
Nope, nope. Now, here's the question then. Here's the question. Let's throw in right here. Do you think Bill takes the offer, or does he then say, you know what, forget this? He gets New York involved and says, hey, by the way, this is everything that he's doing. Brings up the distillery, says, hey, he plans on cutting you out. How about we get him out? You bring me in on the deal. I take over. Because remember, that was the whole thing before when Bill had the partnership with Cal. Right? They were like, hey, let's work together and then we can get this guy out with Dwight. But that didn't work out, and Cal's doing other politician stuff, as we find out later. So do you think he's going to double cross Dwight, or is he going to just take it and just take it?
What I think is going to happen is they are going to need more muscle. They don't have muscle.
He has no muscle.
Yes, which is so crazy. Like,
valid point by Bill. Very valid point.
Everyone is sitting there in the distillery working. I'm like, who's watching? Who's watching? Like, who's guard, right? Bigfoot, you're never leaving. You are just sit there. You take no dose. You don't sleep. All right. Here's cocaine if you need to stay up. I don't care.
Right. He's the only muscle. Tyson's not really muscle. His dad, I guess his dad. His
dad. Goody. I mean, Goody, obviously, he's someone who.
Mitch could hold his own. Mitch could hold his own.
Mitch can. But Mitch is a partner. You know, Mitch is a partner. And we obviously know Grace can.
We know Grace.
But I think what's going to happen is he's going to need more from Bill.
Wait, wasn't the big dude the one that died? Brody's friend. He died. That was him.
No.
That wasn't him? All right, blanking.
That was like an old Italian guy.
It was another guy. All right, never mind.
All right. Getting killed.
Never mind. Yeah.
I think they're going to need muscle, and then he's going to write him in for more. There's no way that he gets 7.5%. It's going to end up being probably closer to 25-30% is my guess. Especially when he finds out how much it's worth.
Yeah. I mean, he can see it. So it's tricky because we see a lot of Dwight just pressing the buttons with Bill. You know, he hangs up on him all the time. He just ends the conversation with the final word on Bill. He's just really putting him down. And I feel that there's only so much push someone can take before they just snap. And I can see Bill doing something dumb, like trying to then partner with Ray in New York. It's like, you know what? Come up here. We'll make a deal. We'll take over everything, you know. But then at that point, then Dwight, because he knows everything about Dwight. He knows he doesn't have the muscle. So if Ray says, all right, who is he rolling with? He's rolling with no one. He's got this one driver who's, like he even said, cares more about his sneakers and what he's wearing and stuff than what's going on. And everybody else is pretty much inexperienced from this world.
I don't think Bill really liked New York, though.
He didn't, but he that's what I'm saying. So many pushes. There's so many times someone can just poke you in your chest before you snap. And this might be it.
He's already a hothead. He's
already a hothead. Vinny's coming in. That's the other one. So then maybe Vinny can plant the seed. And it's like, hey, I can still talk to everybody. You bring me in. Let me talk to Ray. Let me tell him everything. Fill him in on all the dirt about Dwight. And then maybe that's what we do. Maybe we go over, then we take over.
I could see more. And again, we're just throwing out scenario.
Yeah.
I could see more of like that happening where Vinny's like, hey, I can bring them in. And Bill going to Dwight going, hey, they're trying to double cross you.
Oh, wow. You're putting a lot of trust in Bill here. I don't know.
Bill does not want to have New York looking over him. Isn't that the whole reason why we threw T?
Yeah.
Because
he's getting lowballed. That's the whole thing. If that's what I'm saying, it's just too many pokes.
But he's already worked with Dwight. He knows that he's the hothead. Dwight will eventually be like, all right, let's
all right, you know what? We've said our piece. You people, we're talking with you, not at you. Go ahead, put it in the comments. What do you think's going to happen? Do you think Bill's going to double cross and cause this whole thing and get with New York, or you think he's just going to bite the bullet, work out a new deal, and hit in the middle, like you just said? What, 25%? That's your sweet spot, 25%. I'd say he takes the 15. I say he says, all right, fine, no 7.5. That I'll take 15.
Yeah, I just think eventually
15. Okay.
It'll get worked up. But anyway, then the dad shows up to help because they need a plumber.
Yep. We got the plumber.
Pretty much explains exactly why he's there. And he does a lot of talking with Tyson. And, again, Uh, it's. I really like this because this is a father who he's watched his son go down a path they didn't want to go.
Mm-hmm.
He's already been down that path. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah,
you can already tell he's been down that path in his life. He
Mhm.
never wanted to go back, and he has gone back to protect his son.
I have a feeling, this is my thought here, that once he's done with the plumbing job, he is going to get a full-time job. We just talked about the lack of muscle. And I
Yeah.
can see him saying, you know what, I'm doing this. And even if the wife's like, hey, what's going on? Hey, you said this, keep an eye on him. I will have an eye on him because I'm going to be working with him. And then that's how they bring him in full time. Because right now he's a reoccurring character. He's not full time. And then I could see him definitely taking that type of role going
I can
forward.
see that because
Yeah, right.
we already seen how he handles himself.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, us fathers of grown adults, we should never be the muscle.
Gotta be the muscle.
We're supposed to be aging out.
Yeah, right.
So then we jump to Bodhi talking to Grace about what he's going to do. Because they were talking about, put the gun in his face, whatever.
The
And he
dude was
basically
there.
said-
He was there. Like I forgot all about it. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Bill showed up with him because that's like his right hand man.
Yeah. He basically told him, I'm going to end up controlling his whole life, and he's not even going to know it.
Oh, yeah, he's got this whole thing planned out. And what was he was gonna life hack him pretty much, right?
Yes.
Take control of everything, destroy him in that way. And while he's rattling all these different methods, the guy just walks up to him and says, hey, Bill said we should just put it in the past. We're working together. And he takes his hand on and he just says, let's move on. They shake hands.
Yes.
They shake hands. So it's like, and then he leaves and Grace's like, so you're good now? He's like, did you not hear what I just said? Did you not, like that
Yeah,
meant nothing.
I love this character of Bodhi. I mean, I think he's really good. Like he's funny.
He's fun.
Not what I would be like in my real life.
He reminds me of from Peacemaker. What's that guy's name? Economist? Is that his name? Or the big dude that does all the hacking and stuff for Peacemaker. He reminds me of that character, just with his one-liners and his sense of humor and his approach to delivering lines. Very familiar with that.
And then we see Cole showing up to his dad's house to pretty much tell him exactly what's going on. He's telling Jeremiah everything that's going to happen.
Tells him about the visit to the distributor. He got a call, found out Dwight showed up, and he was like, "Oh, why to him? Why? We don't know, but he did." So,
yeah, like
that comes up again. It's like, why?
Yeah, I don't know. And then we jump back to the distillery of them just bottling stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
And again, at least now, I mean,
cue the montage.
Yeah, it's not too much, but it is showing like, hey, they are working to get these bottles out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, mind you, $150 a bottle, as long as they can sell them.
Well, that was the other thing. They need to get a license and some other things, and then that brings back a scene that comes up with a character from last season. But yeah, there's a whole process. But you know what this tells me? It tells me that Mark, that's Tyson's dad, he did a good job. He fixed the plumbing, right? Because now this works.
And again, they needed a plumber they could trust that isn't going to go
and rat them out and like, yeah.
So here's where Cal shows up, and Dwight and Cal are talking. And again, if you're wondering who Cal is, he was Cal Thresher. That's Neil McDonough. This guy right here.
Yeah, he's a legend. He's a legend in film.
Yes, he plays an amazing bad guy. Mm-hmm. If you've ever seen Justified, he was awesome in Justified. He gets his arm cut off. Sorry about the spoiler, but the show's like 15 years old.
Where did I saw him in something? Oh man, with like a general or something.
He was awesome in Minority Report.
Maybe that was it. Maybe he's a Minority.
He's actually like a good guy. He's also in Captain America.
Maybe. I've seen him in so many things. He is a known actor. If you've seen him, you've seen him. But everybody that's watching this and in our coverage, they've definitely seen season 1. He was the main bad dude in season 1. I mean, 2. Sorry, season 2. Apologies. There we go.
But
yeah.
basically, Cal and him talk. He's running for governor. And again, Dwight knows all his secrets. And the last thing he wants is any of them to come out. And he's like, I'm not even governor yet. So he's basically saying, hey, you make it the governor. You help me out. I'll make sure these secrets don't ever come out.
And he's also aware of the whole Dunmire situation and the beef that's going on right now. He knows it all. He's in the know. And he says, oh, so you just want to have a politician, a corrupt politician. And he's not saying it, but he's like, come on now. He's like, I know everything. He's like, I know the skeleton key, the closet, and I have the key. Right? I know everything that's in there.
And once again, going back to Dwight is a very smart man. He's not just... he's not some guy who is violent and brutal. He's smart. He tries getting stuff done without using violence.
Like right this right here is a pretty smart move. I did not know that this guy was running for governor. But now that we know, then definitely it's a smart move to try to get him on your side. But like, hey, listen, you're going to do this, and this helps with distribution because that's the other thing, right? They need the license. And as we also learned, the distillery, everything is under Joanne's name, not under Dwight because he has a criminal record and all that stuff, and you can't run the business like that. But it's under Joanne's name, and if he can, look the other way, things can work out there. So
then we jump to Mitch's house, and Mitch is talking to Lorax. I'm sorry, he's Wilford Brimley back from. You got to look at the guy, all right? I mean, first off, he looks like Wilford Brimley.
He is
diabetes, but he also looks like the Lorax. And we're assuming this is his dad.
Wait, let me get him. Yeah. I think
Babe Keller.
Yeah, there we go. The Lorax. When I thought about it, I think about
like
the
Lorax.
trees. Save the trees. It's like, oh man, but yeah,
you can't not see it now, can you?
No. I want to sing all the songs.
I don't know any of them.
Oh man, was it the jump into the water? Yeah, my kids are young, so I remember.
They're younger than mine, so
it's like they were telling they cut all the trees down. Remember that evil company cut all the trees and was bottling fresh air and stuff.
I kind of remember it. But anyway, this is where he's sitting here, he's chatting, and then Cleo shows up. Again, she just walks in the house. And basically he said, hey, yeah, you can stay here. Like, don't worry about it. Now, once again, like, I don't know why everyone's not worried, because I'd be like, you know what? We're going to go stay at a hotel, probably where Manfredi started off, because you can't just walk into a hotel and burn the thing, burn it down. I mean, you could, but I doubt they would.
They're very relaxed with everything that's going on. And that is that's TV. That's the one part we see it all the time, because it's hard to keep that intensity up because they should be stressed nonstop. Just like, oh man, I think they burned the house down. The guy she doesn't even, if I recall, she didn't even bring up to Mix. Oh, by the way, Cole showed up and asked me out on a date and says that we should be together now. Like it's like, let's bring that up. But no, she doesn't go there. So,
but I guess we're kind of assuming that it's already been explained. But anyway, he sees lights. His dad goes to bed. He sees these lights and he grabs a gun. Again, I don't know why these guys don't have more powerful firearms, but he has like a 6-shooter, a revolver. I don't know,
but it's right near the front door. It's a good spot for it, right?
You think you'd have something with magazines in it where you can hold more bullets. Anyway, he goes outside. Again, I've never had to deal with this, but I feel like I'd be way more cautious. But he goes out there, and of course, he gets attacked by one guy. And I kept trying to figure out what, and I realized he was wearing masks.
Yeah. I didn't know who it was.
A mongoloid attacking him or something. I'm like, it looked like a guy that was burnt.
I thought it was just one of the hired guys for Cole, because one of the things that Cole brought up to his dad, Yeah, I think it was his dad when he said, or no, the dad told him, he's like, hurt him or something like that. And he's like, yeah, I will. I'm going to get him good. I'm going to
Yeah.
hurt them close. And I guess this is how he was going to do it. He was going to kill, right? I don't think it was just a whipping. I think he was going to really try to kill or harm Mitch in some way.
I didn't do a good job.
No.
So there's two guys. He ends up fighting him. Now, I want you to understand. I saw this guy that plays Cole before, and he is a very large man. At least he was not too long ago when he was on SEAL team. So, and again, we all know that we've established that Cole can fight. The other guy just seems very big, right? Like,
but also he's not sneaking. Cole's not sneaking up on this guy. He shows up with his high beams. He's like he shows up right at the house, the front. I mean, if you're going to sneak attack, you turn off the lights. You
he walks out. He's got the emergency flashers on.
Right? Like,
he's stopped on the side of the street. He's like, "Hey, I'm coming in to try and hurt him, possibly kill him, but I don't want someone to accidentally hit my car, so I have my emergency flash."
I was waiting to see a Cleo in the window with her phone taking a picture of the license plate because you can see it clear as day. Like, okay, let's trace this back to someone.
Well, they can't call the cops because, as we know, there are no cops.
No one picks up. They call. It's like, sorry, this number's been disconnected. Call 1-800-movie phone.
Yeah.
If you know the name of the movie you'd like to see. Oh man, bring that back.
So they end up getting in this big fight. And for the most part, Mitch is holding his own.
Yeah.
But then Cole gets on top of him, and he's about to really hurt Mitch.
He gets what was it? He gets stabbed or shot.
Cleo gets she cuts his arm, and I thought they were going to cut it clean off.
Yeah.
And then they go running, and we have Mitch who picks up the gun, and
was it Mitch that picked up the gun? The dad started shooting off. Get down.
This thing is slow.
It is slow. Don't worry. We'll add some better ones. We'll add some better sound.
It shoots twice in there. Now, I'm sorry. Two people just showed up in masks. I am unloading off 6 bullets.
It's on your property. Again, there's no law enforcement in the area, so it doesn't even matter. But no
one's coming.
They're on your property. They just attacked your son. Yes, self-defense. That all applies here. So,
but it was Mitch that picked up the gun. He fires it in the air.
Was it? I thought it was the dad.
No,
at the door. Oh, okay.
No, Mitch picked it up, and
all right.
Like Cleo was all next to him, all like, "This has made me hot and horny." I'm sorry, I don't know where that came from. Oh, I know. We'll see it soon.
Yeah. They just go straight in.
So quickly we have. Well, I think that comes right after, isn't it? Because
they go somewhere. There's another scene.
Because the next scene is Cole going back to his dad, like groveling, like there's not something like Cole's like an immature baby. All right.
Yes.
He goes back to the liquid Terminator, shows his cut, and his dad just happens to be around a fire, just happens to have a poker. I knew exactly what was going to happen. I think you knew exactly what was going to happen.
Yeah. Once he said, let me see, give me that hand, let me see. Oh, poor baby.
Because he's like, I have to go to a hospital. Why didn't you just go to the hospital? I'm assuming you have insurance, right? Like,
even if he doesn't, he's got all this cash. I'll be like, do you have insurance? No, but I got the Benjamins, And I'm like, oh, that speaks louder than that. Go on in, sir.
What his dad does is he takes the hot poker and he fuses it shut. Technically, he does help him, right? I mean,
he does. Well, if the poker's clean, I mean, they didn't sanitize any of this stuff, but yeah, I mean,
if the poker's that hot, it doesn't.
It's already it doesn't. There's nothing on it.
There's nothing living on it.
Nothing living on it.
That dead skin they burned off.
Pretty nasty scar. And how do you explain that scar? It's like, well, I got stabbed by this one. Man, that's hard. But no, my dad did the rest. Oh no.
Yes. Like, what are you coming in for? Well, I was gonna come in for the cut, but now I'm here for the 3rd-degree burn.
Oh, right, exactly. It's like, who did this? And I was like, I don't want to tell you.
So here we come. Cleo and Mitch, they're on the couch and they're talking. And again, they end up having the sexual tension. They start kissing. We can imagine what happens next. Once again, I brought it up to you.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had someone try and murder me.
It's,
But I feel like after her dad was murdered, all the crap I've already seen in the first 2 seasons, I just don't feel like I'm going to be like, you know what? I need a little happy time with you right now.
But I said she's, hey, she's
But I don't-
offering. Who's going to turn it down? No one's going. But here's the thing: no one calls the police. No one's that concerned from all this happening to say, "Hey, Dad, let's call 911." I know no one picks up, but we could leave a voicemail, and then maybe someone will answer that, and then come back the next day.
I have a feeling Dad. I think Dad's so old he just slept through it.
Maybe that's it. But whatever. But hey, good times. It was a stressful situation, and people handle stress in different ways.
Yes, you're right.
This is it. I was like, wow, what are we gonna do now? Party in the pants is what we're gonna do. Turn off the lights. And like, there you go. The bad guy's not gonna come back. Did you not see what we did to his arm? He's not coming back.
All right. So this is where we see Dwight. He's at the bar. He's walking through it. And then Goody shows up. Comes over, talks to him, and this is where we find out about Armin, right? He went there.
Oh, well, we got some audio. We got some funny audio here. Here we go.
You find Armand?
No, but I spoke to his wife.
How's Clara?
I don't know how the little douchebag did it, but your menship works. She's let him see the kids.
Oh, mystery solved. Road trip through the Rockies, it's nice. You know what, get her some flowers. Look who I'm talking to. You're not getting anyone in flowers anymore. Just get her some chocolate. You can't screw that up.
You're not going to let that go, are you?
No, I'm not.
That's going to be the running joke. No flowers from Goody there.
Every time someone dies,
that's it.
Flowers.
Exactly. He's like, I got this.
If it's someone they don't like, he might be like, why don't you go get them flowers?
Oh, yeah. There you go. It's like, but yeah. Now I remember. Mm-hmm.
Then we see Dunmire showing up at the bar, and he's kind of just walking through it to talk to Manfredi. And then quickly we switch to Cole as we see Spencer finishing her shift. She comes out and somebody is bothering her. And Cole just happens to be there. Now, I think he probably drove his dad there because I don't think his dad's going to drive himself there.
No.
And perfect timing. Now, I'm under the assumption, because she does not know who Cole is, I'm under the assumption this was a setup.
Yeah, it's too much of a coincidence that he just so happens to be there, because the show's not going to portray him as a good guy. We know he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
And by this happening, him coming to save the day, play hero, that puts him in the good guy category, right? No, this is his way of trying to get in. He's going to get close to Spencer, maybe start dating her, and then he's going to start getting all of the dirt, the ins and outs.
He doesn't even change his name. He says he's Cole because basically he walks up, he saves her from this guy. He beats the crap out of him. Says that he's Cole. And that's like this kind of where it's left at. Yeah. You think eventually, like, Spencer's going to be talking to, I don't know, Miss Cleo that's there, or someone there and says, oh, yeah, I started dating this guy named Cole. It's not Mike or Tom. I don't think Cole even there is a super common name.
It's a small town. It's a small town. Everybody's going to know. That's if they even ask. Maybe no one cares.
No one cares. But basically they're setting up, okay, Cole came to Spencer's rescue, and it's all going to be good. And then we get Dunmire basically saying he's going to destroy Manfredi and everyone that he loves. And as we all know, Manfredi does not take threats.
No.
And they just go back and forth.
Yeah, a lot of smack talk
to each other. Yeah, what they're going to do to each other.
Yeah. Gonna destroy your life. He was like, yeah, you know what? Money's money, but if you go after my family and my friend, that's it. I destroy everything. Your whole life goes away.
They're basically saying, hey, we're the same person. It just depends on which one. Basically, it's like when two people run for the president of the United States. They're both telling you what shitheads they both are, but one of us is gonna win.
That's it. They'll say that and whatever they want, and then we get this whole big mess. But it makes you wonder what's going to happen here with this. We do know a few things. We know that Dunmire is connected with other mob families.
Yes,
right.
That was mafia.
They brought that up. That was one of the things
that's been confirmed by multiple people now.
Yep, and Bill confirmed that. So that is implying that we're going to see other characters come in to this, because
Yeah.
Dunmire is probably going to
guess-
be like, all right, he's going to bring. We've already established that Dwight needs more heavies. He needs more muscle, because this is not going to cut it with everything that's happening here. Where's that coming from? I know he's looking for Armand.
Bill's the only one, unless if he makes a deal with New York, and he's pretty much already told New York, "F you, I don't want to share with you."
Well, I mean, there's all the mob families, as we know, in the Midwest. Illinois, he could still go that route. Let's introduce that.
Just having to introduce someone new when you already have KC already in the mix.
Mhm.
You know,
But bringing them in as a muscle, not as major players. So it's like, oh, make a phone call. Yeah, I called. I got contacts out, and
but again, I think that's why we have KC. Like, I think that's the opening. You know,
wait, he's gonna bring Vinny. He's gonna tell Dwight. He knows Dwight doesn't like him. I mean, they got him and Vinny. That's not gonna work.
No. I think I don't think that Bill. If I remember correctly, I didn't think Bill liked Vinny all that much.
Yeah, he's willing to help him out. Yeah, but he's willing to help him out. That was the guy that was feeding him all the info about Chicky.
Yeah.
So,
but that's kind of how it ends.
That is how it ends. But it was all right. It was good. This episode, it was setting. Yeah, a lot of setup, putting things in places. What did we learn? We learned there's no police force. No one cares. We learned the insurance company is not covering any of this from the house damage, right? That's a big deal.
This gives everyone in their pockets. If he has everyone in his pockets, I don't understand why he didn't buy this distillery.
Yeah, there's so many other ways to do it. Yeah, we know that the distributor took a whooping, and so I'm assuming he's out of the picture. So what's going to happen to him? There goes that. We see Tyson's dad is now done plumbing work, but maybe he can do some other work to help. So that's gone into play here. And let's see what else. And then we already said Vinny's coming to town. So that's it. We didn't see Ray. There's no Ray. Armand is still MIA. He's still out there, but we do know that he gets to see the kids. So I guess you could say he comes up. He knows how to use a weapon. We know that, but I don't know if that's enough. I don't know. But then again, they did a lot of damage last season with less. Remember, with the casino and holding down and that Margaret at the farm. They might just do that.
And they may have just been explaining that, hey, this is where Armand is.
Oh,
so you don't have to worry about if he's going back to New York.
True.
Maybe that's no purpose.
I just answered all our questions. I just thought about it. Oh, it's the government. It's the agency. Dwight could just easily say, hey, yeah, you know all the stuff going on. Well, now we're going to have more problems. So who's a bigger problem, myself or Dunmire or whatever? We're going to need some help. So he can bring them in.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's hard to, I mean, you're part of, you created your own mob. You can't have them as your security.
No, but he can give the government agency a win, right? Isn't that what it's all about?
Yeah.
Like, oh, taking somebody out. It's like, oh, are you working with them? Nah, he's an informant. I mean, we all know the whole thing with Whitey and Boston, all that stuff. You know, they can give up info on other mobsters and gangsters. So someone's still going to jail. Maybe not everyone, but somebody's still going. So if somebody says, you're a dirty cop, what do you mean dirty cop? I just put these dudes in jail. What about that guy? Forget about that guy.
There was either a show or a movie. And I remember that the FBI was like, listen, somebody's going to jail. All right. I don't know if it's you or whoever, but somebody has to go to jail. I forget what movie it was or which show.
It could be a lot of shows that we've seen in a bunch of
shows.
There's
a specific one where they're like, somebody has to go to jail.
Somebody has to go down.
But that's it.
That was it. It was a good episode. I'm enjoying it. I like the dialogue. I like the characters. They're all unique. They all bring something new to the show, their own feel. It's not like, oh, is acting just like this one. And, oh, his lines are just a typical line. We both agree Brody is fun as a character. And every time he talks, something fun comes out of him.
I think Brody's awesome. I think he's hilarious. And I'm loving what they're doing with him.
And we're loving this show, and hopefully all of you out there are loving this show and enjoying our coverage. If you are, please like, subscribe, stick around. We're covering the entire season and a bunch of other shows, like as we mentioned earlier. So we will be back next week for episode 3. And then also this week we'll have I think the day after this or whatever, or Wednesday, we'll have Slow Horses. That'll be out there, so you can check that out. Very good show. We've already gone through talking about that. Check it out, people. If you're like, Slow Horse, check it out. Apple TV, good show.
It's not about equestrian.
It's
See,
not.
I remembered that word and I had to use it again.
There you go. You did. All right, everybody. See you later. Peace.
Take care.
Mhm.